What's going on, everyone? It's Marsellis back with another video. We got to talk about baby Doge. There's a lot going on still. So we're just going to be talking about prices. We're going to be talking about the possibilities of what you could make inside of baby Doge around these prices. And we're also going to be talking about some updates here on baby Doge. So definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section, all that good stuff. And let's get straight to it. So let's talk about this. Now, we got a lot that we got to talk about here with baby Doge. Like I said, we're going to be going over these technicals, but first things first, before we even go over all the juicy stuff, we just want to go over the basics here with baby Doge. So first of all, we are down 3.1% inside of the last 24 hours. So, well, now 2.7% in the last 24 hours. That's not too bad. As you can see here, we have been, trickling down a little bit here. But, that's not too bad. It looks like it's kind of trying to level out. We'll go over that some more in the technical analysis. But yeah, it definitely looks like baby Doge is trying to level out before its next pump. And you can see this, the same kind of thing that happened before we came from February 6th all the way up to February 8th pump. And then before we had this pump from February 9th all the way up to February 12th. Like, we seen that we had this little flat area where we just kind of traded sideways just for a little bit, and then we started taking off. So maybe that's what could be could be happening right now. Hopefully it is, and hopefully we do start pumping. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think I want baby Doge to crash so I can buy more. That's not the complete truth. The complete truth is I wouldn't mind a pullback because I would highly benefit from a pullback. But it's not that I wanted to pull back. I just wouldn't mind it. And yeah, a lot of people who are long term in baby Doge wouldn't mind it either, because then you can get a lot more at a cheaper price. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of more of that further on. But let's go over here. We're almost at 1.7 million holders. So this is pretty impressive. I mean, look, hit the refresh button. Now we're almost there still. So yeah, 1,699,882 holders. We're going to continue to get more and more holders here inside of the baby Doge army. We continue to pull more people in every single day. So today we got to get a good amount of baby Doge. Today we got to get about 112 baby Doge holders inside of here. So 112 people come in to baby Doge so he can finally officially be at 1.7 million. That's a really big milestone for us, and we're actually about to break that. So shout out to the baby Doge army for that. It wouldn't be possible without the whole baby Doge army. Now let's talk about this, the baby Doge with the boxing gloves. So this is pretty cool. Excited to announce a new farm listing, and trading is live for Enter Primal at baby Doge Swap. So you can stake Primal /USD and earn Primal. So that's the farming pair, Primal USDT, and then you're going to earn some Primal. And the current APR is 3,270 APR. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. It's pretty impressive. Primal is an athlete fan token project that rewards users for all physical activity. So yeah, this is pretty big. Let's go ahead and look at these farms, because that's huge. The fact that you could just walk, you could run, you could exercise, and now you're earning points because of Primal. So that's pretty good. It would probably be in the KYC here. Yep, it's this one here, USDT to Primal. Now you see the APR is much lower. Now the APR for this is only at 552% because a lot of people jumped in already. It's at $90,000 liquidity. So that's pretty cool to see that they're doing that. So yeah, shout out to Primal for getting listed on the baby Doge swap here. And then, as you know, I don't mess with any of the public ones. I only mess with the KYC and the core ones. And even the KYC ones, I'm looking at them, I'm like, they need a lot more liquidity for me to put a lot more money in it. Like, for instance, Primal right now is at $90,000 liquidity. I would probably be comfortable with putting 100 in here, but not 1,000. Because let's say if it drops down to like 30,000 liquidity, you're suffering a huge and permanent loss, especially inside of a smaller pool like this. So always remember impermanent loss. Like, you always got to remember that. But it takes a lot more to explain it. So look up impermanent loss if you want to on Google right now. But long story short, impermanent loss is when you suffer an impermanent loss, right? There's money that you're not going to get back anymore. And it's just a result of a liquidity pool, or liquidity pool just going all the way down, and you having so much money in it that now your money's worth significantly less. It's like when your money goes down in crypto, except when it goes down in the liquidity pool, it's impermanent. You're not getting it back. It's just what it is. But let's go over some more stuff though. We already talked about this. Now let's go over the swaps here for baby doge swap. We're just gonna kind of go over what we're doing in baby doge swap with the info and analytics. So right now we got $55.85 million in liquidity here on baby doge swap, which is good. You know, we're dropping down a little bit, but it's not too bad. We now have $861,000 inside of 24-hour trading volume. In the last 24 hours, we burned 11.2 trillion baby doge. And then you can see our buyback and burn balance is now at $12,391. And now you can also see 202.9 quadrillion is a burn total. Now, we also have our burn portal. Don't forget about that. Our burn portal is still moving up here. We now have our burn portal at 29.7 trillion total burned. That's pretty high. And then you can see our 24-hour burn that we already mentioned. This burn we already mentioned. And then we have the baby doge bought through the burn portal, which is 20 trillion. So this is pretty interesting to see. 29.7 trillion baby doge total burned. That is a lot burned, and they're going to be matching us with that. So shout out to the baby doge army for that match. But yeah, this is pretty big for us. This is one of the biggest things inside of baby doge army like history right here. So yeah, this is going down in baby doge army history. As for my farms personally, you can see it's still at 38% APR. APR is still a little low because the price started dropping. But something I'm surprised with, the liquidity hasn't dropped much with the price. I think at the peak it was like $8 million liquidity. Now it's at 6.4 million. But still, we're looking pretty good inside of our liquidity pool here. So yeah, shout out to the people out there in the baby doge army. And then also over here, DeFi Llama, we're now ranked 109. So yeah, we're down 11.84% in the last 7 days, up 62.99% in the last 30 days. So we're still doing pretty good there. So yeah, all across the board, baby doge is doing fairly good. We're still above Shiba swap. Well, we're always gonna be above Shiba swap. But yeah, we're doing fairly good all across the board. Now, I want to go over something else here with baby doge, and that's what I was talking about from the beginning. We got to talk about this. We're gonna go over the technical analysis here inside of baby doge. So let's talk about this. First things first. The first thing that we do want to talk about here with the technical analysis, let's go ahead and put this auto on. You can see we actually did break down below the support. So we didn't want to. We really did not want to break down below the support, but we did. But look at what happened. The second we broke down, huge red candlestick. Now you're just seeing the green candlesticks trying to bounce back, trying to recover. But the problem is, if we can't recover, if we can't break past 8Z30, like, and get above this area, then you're going to see it going down to the next area. So that's pretty bad. If we continue to go down to this next area inside of baby doge, then our next area down here is all the way at 8Z28. So we would then see 8Z28. And it kind of looks like it's already set in stone. We already broke down below this support. So I'm hoping that we could bounce back and go back up. But the fact we just now broke down below this, if it doesn't do what we did back here, then we aren't going to be looking too good. Like, if it doesn't do what it did back here yesterday, then we won't be looking too good. Because, see, the second we broke it down below this support, we had this, we just kind of stopped before we could even hit the 8Z28 support. And then we went back up immediately to the resistance. And that was a big pump back up here to the resistance, too. That was a really big pump. It came all the way back up here to about 8Z34, almost 8Z35. It couldn't break past 8Z35 because of the resistance there. It almost did, but it wasn't quite able to break past 8Z35. And see, this could pose as such a problem because, look, you can even see here these green candlesticks are kind of rejecting right now. They're not really allowing us to get past 8Z30. So it's really not wanting to stay above it right now. And it looks like it's about to go down below 8Z30 again. And like I said, 8Z28 is going to be what comes after 8Z30. So let's just put some hypotheticals into the air. Let's say we go ahead down to 8Z28, right? 8Z28, by the way, brings us all the way down here to this line. So let's say we go all the way down, we break down, and we hit 8Z28. So from 8Z28, we may try to break it again, and we may try to get past that resistance again, right? The resistance all the way up here at 8Z30. But if we can't break past that again, then what we're looking down towards is here, which is 8Z25. That's another minor support. Since it's such a minor support, we have the possibility of not even trying to re-break this area here and just going straight down here all the way down to 8Z22. 8Z22 is still not off of the boards, and every single day it kind of gets closer and closer to hitting 8Z22. That's just what I believe personally, and I'm going to continue to follow this and let you all know what we got coming up inside of the Baby Doge charts here, because it's very, very, very important to know this for Baby Doge. So that's pretty much what we got here for Baby Doge. Now you can even see it's all confirmed. So I didn't want to bring up the 4-hour chart, but you can see it's all confirmed. We see that the green areas show that we have more demand. Typically at the bottom of the green areas is our support lines, and it's all confirmed. Like, we always look at this on these indicators. These indicators work fairly well. You can see when it hit support here on the 10th, it was there. When we had the resistance up here, it was there. It works fairly well. And then you can even see it all the way at the top here at 8Z44. We were at that resistance at 8Z44, 8Z45, and we got stopped out there as well. So yeah, they work fairly well for these indicators. That's why I'm following them. But yeah, we just gotta wait and see what happens here. So we'll continue to watch this, but also Bitcoin's doing something important as well. If you watch my video from yesterday, you'll see what I mentioned about Bitcoin. So you can actually see Bitcoin is heading up here to this resistance. It got rejected, and I marked that resistance either yesterday or the day before that. But you can see it got rejected up here at that resistance, and now it's pulling back. But it's not doing a heavy pullback, which means we actually might break this resistance. So notice how it hits it, and it barely pulls back, and it's still kind of trading sideways. So I think we actually might have that possibility to break above 25K. So if Bitcoin goes above 25K, that is going to be very, very nice for us. So let's go ahead and look at what we're looking at if we go above 25K. So if we go above 25K in Bitcoin, then what you could see for Bitcoin is all the way up here. I already marked this resistance at 27K. 27K going into 28K is what we're looking at here with Bitcoin. Now 28K being the resistance, so we'll probably end up stopping at 27.8K or something like that and then pulling back, or we could keep going. But most likely it would be a pullback after a pump that large. But yeah, like I said, we came off this oversold area back here. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that. You can see here they're classifying this right here as that oversold area, and you can see it shows up here on the oscillator as well. It also shows up as an oversold area on the oscillator. So the oscillator over here has the oversold area, and then you can see it indicated by this. And now you see the buying pressure that's coming in after that oversold area. So hopefully there's enough buying pressure to continue to bring us up to 27 or 28K. Now, going back over to Baby Doge though, let's look at this from a different perspective. I said this yesterday, but I want to say it again so that people can really realize what we're talking about here, because this is very important. Now we see that Baby Doge has that possibility, right, to pull all the way back down to AZ22. So let's just say let's get all these drawings off. I wanted to save them until the next day so we could be like, look, I told you so, but I'm not gonna even do all that. Look, let's just go ahead and say we do pull back down to AZ22. So let's say Baby Doge, boom, all the way down to AZ22, right? But let's say that's where we stop. We don't go down anymore. We just start to go up. Let's say you get in at AZ22. So let's go ahead and take your $1,000 and divide it by AZ22, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros, and then a 22. That gives you 454,000 or 454 million or billion Baby Doge. I mentioned this yesterday because whenever you go ahead and you do this math, and now you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just say we go back to where we are now. If you were buying at AZ22 and it just goes to where we are now, that's a $363 gain. Just if we go back down to the next support and then go back up to where we are now. So there's always the possibilities of us having huge run-ups inside of Baby Doge. And that's why, like I said, I'm not opposed to Baby Doge going down to AZ22 because I know either way it's a gain for me. And it's a gain for anyone who gets in at AZ22. And then I know AZ22 isn't even the best area to buy Baby Doge. Me personally, 8Z1 over here, 8Z12 down to 8Z1, right? Now, obviously, 8Z12 is the actual support, but typically, like how we've seen above there, it'll go down a little bit, and then it'll go back up to the support. Like, it'll go a little bit below the support, and then it'll go back up to the support. Just like how we've seen back here, it went below the support, and then it went back to like above the support. So what we could see here with Baby Doge, like I said, 8Z22, try to retest some resistance, getting rejected, then down to 8Z12 or 8Z1. And like I was saying before, the importance of this, you take $1,000 right here, and you put it inside of, let's say you put this inside of 8Z1. If you put this at 8Z1, that's 1 trillion baby doge. At 61, I'm going to keep mentioning this because this is amazing. It'll be $100,000 at 61. So that's a huge amount. Even if you get at 8Z12, you're still looking at a nice profit. Let's say you go ahead and you do this only down to 8Z12. So let's just say you did 8Z12. So down here, you just put 12, and that's still 833 billion baby doge. But see how big of a difference that is. See how big of a difference we're looking at here. Like, that's 1.73 trillion or 1.83 trillion for, if, or not 1.83 trillion. We are 133 billion off, pretty much. So that's 833 billion. That is a lot. But to think a whole 133 billion that you lost off of like a 0.2 of a change from 8Z12 to 8Z10, like, that's a huge difference. So that's why I like to get in, at certain spots, because if you multiply this by 61, now you're going to get even less of a number. You're going to get all the way down here at $83,000 just off of a small change like that. So there's huge differences in this. And that's why I'm saying, like, imagine us going back to the 9Zs. Like, that would be even crazier. Like, look, if we went back to 9Z, the lowest I seen during the last drop was 9Z, like 7.8. That's what we went down to. So that would give you 1.2 trillion baby doge, and then multiplying that by 61. Yeah, like, now you're up big money, 128 kind of. Like, just think of the difference there, from 8Z1 to 9Z7.8. Like, that's a big difference. That's a $28,000 difference. So yeah, there's huge differences here. That's why I said I'm not opposed to, if we pull back here in baby doge, I'm not opposed to it at all. That's just more money for the baby doge army. And yeah, if we pull back, I'm definitely buying more. But I do hope that we pump from here. But anyways, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. And as always, I'll be back with another video.